Hello, and thank you for listening to WBFO this spooky season. The radio play you're about to hear was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Katharine Cornell Theater in Buffalo, New York. Most of the sounds you hear for the next hour were performed live, including dialogue, Foley sound effects, commercials, and music. Please, sit back, relax, and enjoy The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Broadcasting from WBFO and the Katharine Cornell Theater, with support from the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library, Mr. Goodbar, and members like you, Buffalo-Toronto Public Media is thrilled to partner with the talented University at Buffalo Department of Theatre and Dance to perform Aaron May's radio play adaptation of Washington Irving's timeless tale, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Our story in a moment, but first, these messages.
My head hurts so much. I can't believe I had to come to work today.
Oh, I know. Mondays are so hard after a Bills game.
Maybe if we just sit here, the boss won't notice we're useless.
Jenkins! Hernandez! Look alive. These reports won't write themselves.
Does this sound like you? Win or lose, the morning after a Bills game is always impossible. To make your life more bearable, Western New York Casting offers our newest service, Monday Body Doubles.
Monday Body Doubles?
Yes! Your Monday Body Double is a fully trained actor that will be your at-work stand-in any morning after a Bills game. Instead of coming to work hungover, you can recover at home while a certified body double takes your place.
But won't our boss notice?
Monday Body Doubles are trained in method acting and learn many facts about your life. And if anyone grows suspicious, our body doubles are trained in hypnosis.
Jenkins! Hernandez! Look alive. These reports won't write themselves.
You got it, boss.
You sound a little off, Jenkins. Did you stay up too late after the Bills game?
Of course not, boss. I love my job.
Yes, you love your job.
Monday Body Doubles from Western New York Casting. Also available for yoga class and dinners at your parents' house.
And now, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Hold it, soldier. Slow down.
Move out of my way, please. I need to get by. I've run all the way here.
You're not supposed to be here.
I understand that, but you must let me through.
Who are you looking for?
Our commander. I have an important message to deliver.
And did your superior officer send you?
No, he didn't. I'm here on my own accord.
Ha! The commander is too busy to talk to you about whatever nonsense you have. Get back to the front lines, runt. There's a war to win.
I need to speak to the commander, please. You don't understand.
Come back here!
Get off of me! Hey, let go! This is a matter of national security!
Stay still! You're coming with me! Hey!
The only commotion I want to hear is a victory chant, not some petty infighting.
Sorry, sir.
He can come through. What's the problem, soldier?
Commander Washington, I have urgent news from the battle lines. I need to alert you about our enemy. A savage mercenary hired by the British. A Hessian trooper. Bullets, blades, or bayonets seem not to pierce him. He moves through the battle swiftly, riding on the wings of the wind.
And you can attest this to be true.
I know it sounds strange, but I've watched him with my own eyes. It's as if he's enchanted by black magic, or possessed by some dark force. Even I have tried to strike him down, but nothing has stopped him. And there's something else I must share, from a British soldier. He said that the Hessian aims to take your head. As a sign, England has won the war. I heard the man utter this confession before he took his last breath.
What would you like to do, Commander Washington?
Allow the trooper to proceed forward.
Yes, Commander. I'll notify my superior officers with haste.
Before you go, what's your name?
Corporal Andre Gutenberg, from the province of New York. Thank you for taking my claim seriously.
You're letting the enemy advance? That's not the solution I expected to hear, Commander.
I can defeat him. I'm certain of it.
And I'm certain that you're putting your life in jeopardy, and the fate of the 13 colonies. We have enough men in the lower ranks who can surely knock him off his horse. Can we consider another idea?
No, not at all. I've made up my mind.
But sir,
The matter is done. Let him pass through with ease. I'll be waiting for him. Out in the open.
The Hessian trooper has broken through the ranks!
Continue to let him pass. He will kill less men if his path is unobstructed.
I can see him!
Load the cannon.
He's getting closer!
Hold your position.
Commander, what?
Hold! On the count of 3, light the cannon. 1, 2, 3. Strike the match.
Does anyone know what this is? Anyone? Tobias?
Triangle?
It's more than a triangle. It represents one of the greatest and foundational discoveries in mathematics.
It looks like a triangle to me, Mr. Crane.
It's Pythagoras' theorem. The square of the two sides, the altitude and the base, is always equal to the square of the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the slanted or diagonal side. This geometric formula dates back to the Greeks and Romans, back to the days of togas and gladiator fights. But this simple triangle has outlasted those things. And the proper name for this shape is a right triangle.
Mr. Crane, if that's a right triangle, then what does a wrong triangle look like?
As you all leave, I encourage everyone to read about Pythagoras. I brought a book about him from my personal collection. You're welcome to read it. And don't forget to write your sonnets by the end of next week. I bet there are a few tiny Shakespeares lurking behind these desks.
Ichabod! Oh, wonderful. Ichabod!
Oh, Katrina Van Tassel! What a pleasant surprise. Keep calm, Ichabod. Don't make a fool of yourself in front of Katrina. How are you on this fine autumn? Oh!
Oh, my goodness! Are you hurt? That looked like a bad fall.
I'm fine. Don't worry.
I can fetch Dr. Gould if necessary.
No need. I'm as fit as a fiddle.
Oh, let me help you up.
I'm just clumsy at times.
You must be more careful. We can't lose the town's best schoolmaster to date.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the best.
Oh, yes, you are. That's the consensus from everyone I've talked to. You're quite impressive, Ichabod Crane.
Why, thank you. I don't do it for the glory. I'm satisfied with my station and my service.
I'm particularly amazed at how the children have become so well-mannered as of late.
The maxim, spare the rod and spoil the child, is what works, and none of my scholars are spoiled. But don't worry, I never inflict any cruel chastisement, and I always follow my admonishments with an assurance of comfort.
Fulfilling the duty of their parents. This is why you are esteemed by everyone.
A single battle won. However, my pupils could use more discipline with their studies. Step by step, though, Rome was not built in a day.
I must say that I've been keeping my eye on you.
I didn't think you had noticed me.
I have. And I already have a favorite memory of you.
Between you and me?
You won't find me in this recollection. I was watching from afar. I was passing by the home of the Van Stupens, and I saw the sweetest sight. You, as a gentle giant, sitting with the smallest Van Stupen on one knee and rocking a cradle with your foot. You'll make for a good father one day. Oh, would you like to accompany me to the market? I'm heading there to pick up some bread from the baker.
Sure, yes. I would love to.
So, how are you enjoying Sleepy Hollow? I'm sure you find it quite dull. You can be honest. I promise not to tell the parents of your students.
Oh, not at all. My hometown in Connecticut is much like here in some ways. Dare I say, this region of New York is more picturesque, thanks to the October skies at sunset.
I've spent my life in this place. But I once traveled to a settlement on the Niagara River with the most magnificent waterfall. And on the way there, I saw the hills of the countryside. But the sight and sound of rushing water tumbling over that giant cliff remains with me. Ugh, I can still hear it on a quiet day when I close my eyes. Have you visited?
Oh, yes, I have. I passed through there on my way to Canada.
Where else have you been? I've always longed to see more of the world.
Boston, Philadelphia, Manhattan, Washington, a few dozen villages and towns in between.
I only know of these places from the pages of books. I spent too much of my life in this town. I guarantee you that you'll find the same trees and the same families vegetating in the shades of Sleepy Hollow.
Some of the best adventures can be found in books. If you're an avid reader like me, I'm more than happy to offer you a few from my library.
I would love that! Oh, but first, you must tell me, which place has been your favorite to visit?
It's a tie. Philadelphia is bustling and lively, full of diverse sounds. On one corner, you'll hear German, on another, an Irish brogue. On one corner, you have one man selling newspapers, and he's in competition with a man selling fresh fish. It's a city of commerce and a collection of cultures.
And your second city?
I would have to say Washington. The White House and the Capitol building are stunning works of architecture, gleaming white with patriotic zeal. You may even see President James Monroe climbing the steps of the Capitol.
Taking off to see the world is one benefit of being a bachelor.
Hopefully not for long. I don't want to stay single forever. One day I hope to make my affections known.
Oh, really? Have you been struck by Cupid's arrow yet?
Oh!
Is that an apple?
Oh, who threw that? Don't look at us.
We didn't see anything.
We're just innocent bystanders.
The Sleepy Hollow boys. I should have known.
How rude! You unruly urchins, you petulant Philistines!
Oh no! I'm shaking in my boots!
I'm terrified. Let me run and hide.
Boys, be careful. He's armed with a dictionary.
Just ignore them, Ichabod. The Sleepy Hollow boys don't take kindly to outsiders.
Young men like yourself should be examples for the children of this town.
You should be concerned about what lurks in the shadows.
Stay off the roads at night.
The galloping Hessian of the Hollow might come after you.
The galloping Hessian of the Hollow.
The galloping Hessian of the Hollow.
The galloping Hessian of the
Hollow. The galloping Hessian of the Hollow.
Good riddance. I don't see what's so hilarious. Why would I be afraid of a wild horse?
The Sleepy Hollow boys weren't talking about a horse. They were referring to a legend about a fallen soldier. His real name is unknown.
Maybe because he only exists as a work of fiction. Even more reason to ignore them, like you said.
I would take heed.
I know of many legends and ghost stories, but they are for entertainment around the fireplace. I certainly don't believe in them.
I do. The whole neighborhood abounds with local tales, haunted spots, and twilight superstitions. Even I implore the protection of St. Nicholas every time I travel through the woods. Some say that our town was bewitched by a high German doctor during the early days of the settlement. Others that an old Indian chief held his powwows here. If you and your descendants live here long enough, they are given to all kinds of marvelous beliefs, subject to trances and visions, and frequently see strange sights and hear music and voices in the air. Shooting stars and meteors glare more often across our valley than in any other part of the country.
I've encountered nothing of the sort in my short time here. I've heard similar stories from the frontier woodsmen when I was a young lad. Until I visited other cities, I assumed the witching hour was only native to Connecticut.
Do you miss it? Your hometown?
Hartford. Sometimes. It's a quiet and friendly city, but I want to stay here and find a wife. But first, Every man should move from outside of his nest. I believe it sharpens the mind when you examine life beyond your borders.
I take it you're a student of Socrates. The unexamined life is not worth living.
Why, yes. You're correct. You're familiar with Socrates.
You sound surprised.
I am. It's difficult to find like-minded and learned souls who appreciate the great philosophers.
Then you would admire my father. He loves the ancient thinkers and always looks to them for inspiration. Oh, you should meet him. I'm sure both of you would enjoy each other's company.
It would be my pleasure. I can spend hours discussing it.
Looks like we've arrived at the baker's shop. I should let you enjoy the rest of your day.
I found it a great privilege to walk alongside you in your quest for carbohydrates. And now, I'm off to instruct the church in singing the psalms. Why don't you join our modest choir? We need more fine singers. Surely I can make room for you, and no audition necessary. That's the benefit of knowing the director.
Me? Oh, no, Ichabod. My voice isn't strong enough.
Every voice is welcomed under that holy roof, strong or weak. Your presence will brighten the room, if only but a whisper.
I'm not the best at it, but I do love it.
Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything.
That's, Plato.
Yes, correct. You can never go wrong by following the teachings of Plato.
I concur. Then, yes, I will attend under one condition. You will attend my dinner party tomorrow night. That way you can meet my father. But I should add that I've invited Brahm as a guest.
Oh, Brahm Bones. Wonderful. I'm elated.
Brahm can be roguish, yes, but he's an old friend of the family. He promises to be on his best behavior.
The young women are always fawning over him.
I think it's the long hair, and the beard, and his voice, and the way he rides his horse, and...
I get it!
Oh.
I don't see eye to eye with Brahm, but a friend of yours is a friend of mine. I gladly accept your conditions. I'll arrive at your party in my best attire.
And I'll see you in a few hours.
Tenors, altos, and sopranos. Let's take a deep breath and expand our diaphragms. Breathe in. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. And one more time. Good. For our winter concert, I have selected 5 songs from your hymnals, so it should be easy for everyone to become word perfect as well as pitch perfect, I hope.
Brother Ichabod, I hate to interrupt, but I would like to inquire about the soloist role in the concert.
Yes, Sister Charlotte. What about it?
As I was performing my daily meditations, I felt the good Lord press upon my heart the desire to sing a solo, at least one.
Oh, that is quite a revelation. I didn't receive the same pressure or instruction in my prayer time.
And I heard a voice.
You heard a voice?
And it was singing Amazing Grace.
Well, hallelujah.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Oh, Lord.
That saved a wretch like
Beautiful, Sister Charlotte. Thank you so much, Sister Charlotte. However, We're not quite ready to select a soloist just yet. It will be best if we hold auditions.
There has never been a need to hold auditions before.
Yes, that may be true, but...
But if you don't want me to sing, then I can just find another
No,
place.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's just that your unique voice will truly stand out among the rest as a soloist. We want to give other people a fair chance so as to not show favoritism.
Oh, thank you, Brother Ichabod. I've never heard that before. You're making me blush. It's not every day that I receive a compliment from a gentleman.
What can I say? I'm a man of many words and kind gestures.
Well, if not a solo, maybe we can take part in a duet? As brother and sister in our good Lord, of course. Unless you're looking for a different union, like one of matrimony.
Oh, my. Well, I think I'll also seek our Father in prayer and wait for his voice to ring in my ears. You remind us all that we should look to heaven for answers. The Bible tells us, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God." Once I hear from him about the solo
and the duet,
I'll be sure to share with everyone the Lord's revelation.
Amen.
Let's start our rehearsal, shall we? The first song I would like to review is the Battle Hymn of the Republic. You will find it on the 5th page of your hymnals. Okay, from the top. Mine eyes have seen the glory.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
I'm so sorry. My apologies for my tardiness.
No need to apologize. Better late than never. I'm very happy to see you regardless. I'm speaking on behalf of the choir, of course. We are all happy to see your safe arrival. The angels above have guided your feet to our door.
You're too kind, but you shouldn't excuse my tardiness.
She's right.
Oh.
There's always room for forgiveness, Sister Charlotte.
The Bible says charity doth not behave itself unseemly.
And we should not be quick to judge or to cast stones. We should welcome dear Katrina into our arms.
He never perks up in this manner when I'm tardy.
Katrina, we're just getting started. Here's a hymnal. I've opened it to the correct page for you. And let's place you with the sopranos for now.
Wonderful. I look forward to blending in with everyone.
We'll see soon enough.
On second thought, instead of having the choir practice it again, I'll perform the song solo so Katrina can hear it properly. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, I think my singing may have won over the fair Katrina. The way she looked at me was a look of awe and wonder, and my encore performance of the hymn was glorious. I have such a soft and foolish heart towards women, but Katrina is different. She is as charming as she is beautiful, like a turtle dove greeting the sunrise. What do you think, Gunpowder? I know. My biggest hurdle will be to convince old Baltus von Tassel that I'm an appropriate suitor. He's a wealthy man for a farmer. He may think I'm only after his riches, but I'm not. Although he does sit on a hefty prize. Acres of land, a grand home, cattle. It's hard not to be tempted by the bounty and his daughter's beauty. I'm focused, old boy. Don't worry. I'm just pondering out loud. And yes, you're coming along with me. Where can a man go without his trusty steed? By hook or by crook, I shall win Katrina's affections. Who knows? Maybe you will find a pretty mare at tomorrow's festivities. Easy, Gunpowder. It's probably a squirrel in the bush. No need to be frightened. Or maybe not. Could there be something in these woods? Who goes there? Gunpowder, we're not alone. Angels and ministers of grace defend us.
Well. If it isn't Sleepy Hollow's dutiful schoolmaster.
Hi, Brom.
My horse Daredevil is full of mettle and mischief. I hope we didn't frighten you.
Not at all.
Glad to hear it. But you gave me a fright, to be honest. Has anyone ever told you that you resemble a scarecrow? It looks like you elope from a cornfield.
They haven't, because that would be quite rude.
Really? Shall I provide you with a mirror? Look at yourself. A lanky frame that is loosely hung together, those long arms attached to narrow shoulders with hands dangling a mile out of their sleeves.
I haven't noticed.
My boy, those people have been shielding you from the truth. Surely someone has pointed out your huge ears and long snipe nose, the small head with the flat top. It looks like a weather vane perched on a spindle neck to tell which way the wind blew.
Some of us were gifted with a muscular physique, while others were gifted with a mind.
Oh, bravo! You do have a spine after all. On your way home from choir rehearsal? You should be more alert, though. Strange things happen in Sleepy Hollow. Hauntings and howlings and such. Some country folk have even disappeared, like Major Andre. In a little time, after you inhale the witching influence of our air, you'll begin to grow imaginative, to dream dreams and see apparitions. Keep your cross nearby.
I've heard this already, and I don't believe it. Some of us have a regard for intelligence and practicality. And how did you know where I was?
Katrina told me. I was offended that you didn't extend an invitation for me to sing in the winter concert.
The thought to invite you had escaped me.
You should know that Katrina and I have known each other since childhood. The elders always thought that we would be man and wife. Thought you should know.
Katrina is free to make her acquaintance with whomever she chooses. Even you. I don't begrudge her for that independence.
You're awfully bold on this lonely country road. Anything could happen to you.
I may be a man of letters, but I'm still capable of defending myself.
Because Hartford is a breeding ground for skilled fighters like yourself. Do you think you can woo her with music and philosophy? Women want more than a walking textbook. Katrina isn't truly interested in you, Ichabod. Don't waste your time. She's a coquette. My coquette.
Always good to see you, Brom. I'll be on my way.
See you tomorrow night at the Van Tassel Mansion. Hey, boys, come on out.
Yeah, Brom.
You didn't give us the signal.
Why did you change your mind? I was dying to spook him. I wanted to watch him squirm.
I have a better idea. Follow me. No one should be here at this hour.
I haven't been to this schoolhouse in ages. I used to sit right there by the window as a young lad.
Hey, look, a pop gun. I'm taking this with me.
I must say, Schoolmaster Crane keeps this place spotless. Nothing is out of order.
Until now.
Good morning, Mrs. Madison.
Schoolmaster Crane! You won't believe what I saw. I told you, this place was haunted.
What did you see?
I was strolling along last night, and I saw spirits dancing in the shadows, laughing and twirling about, I tell you. I didn't get too close, but I know a ghost when I see one, and there were 4 big ones.
Did you go inside?
Of course not! I'm old, not stupid. I figured it would be best to fetch in the morning.
Flights of fancy, Mrs. Madison.
I know what I saw. Come with me to the schoolhouse.
I'm on my way there now. Let me see what you're talking about.
And I'll come with you, just in case. My heavens! Look at this place! Topsy-turvy, in total disarray. Phantoms and their evil work, I assure you. And look at the chalkboard. The spirits have left a message.
The ghosts of Sleepy Hollow are here. Beware.
I told you! Spirits! Demons! We should call the priest. Maybe witches are holding their nightly meetings in this very spot.
There's no need to call anyone but Brahm and his gang. They are the likely culprits.
No, it's a supernatural phenomenon.
Ghosts don't leave fingerprints. Look closely at the board.
Oh, I see.
Also, I've always imagined spirits to possess excellent vocabulary skills since they have so much free time. The H is missing from the word ghosts.
Oh, there's a thought. Maybe you are right about that. Either way, this disarray will take you most of the day to clean up. Lucky for you, it's a Saturday.
Yes, but I had other plans today that didn't include cleaning.
I can help you, dearie. That should help. But if I see or hear anything ghastly, I'm leaping out the window.
In a moment, after words from these sponsors, we will return to Buffalo Toronto Public Media's production of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, a radio play adaptation by Aaron Mays featuring the University at Buffalo Department of Theatre and Dance.
It's the holiday season already. I have to get started on my shopping.
But how are we going to get gifts for our friends that proudly say, "We're from Buffalo and this is our gift"?
Hi, folks. John Larkin of Buffalo's Larkin Soap Company. If you're looking for a practical but thoughtful gift that says, "This gift is coming from your friends in Western New York," allow me to introduce our new Larkin Soap Buffalo Scent Gift Bags. Our Larkin Soap Buffalo Scent Gift Bags come in all your favorite Buffalo scents. Scents like spicy wing sauce, creamy blue cheese, and drifting Cheerios. Your friends will be clean as a pickle while exuding the aromas of your hometown. Aromas like warm beef on weck, Lake Erie sunrise, and floor of the old pink.
Wow, this one really smells like Lake Erie.
Yeah, I can taste hot wings, but through my nose.
Larkin Soap Buffalo Scent Gift Bags. Clean soap with those Buffalo scents.
Larkin Soaps.
The following is an important message from the Association of Buffalo Chocolatiers. We love the candy-loving community in Buffalo, but in response to a recent complaint, the Association of Buffalo Chocolatiers would like to take a moment to clarify some items regarding our city's most famous chocolate concoction. First, sponge candy is not made from kitchen sponges. It is made of delicious sugar that bubbles to resemble the look of a sponge and is then covered in delicious, healthy milk chocolate with no actual sponge inside. Second, you cannot return sponge candy nor any confection by claiming it is defective. Candy cannot be defective. And attempting to sop up a kitchen spill with sponge candy is not just an incorrect use of this product, but it would void the sponge candy's warranty. If such a thing existed, which it does not. Words can mean many things, and we've chosen the word sponge to describe what our product looks like, more so than what it is made of. On behalf of the Association of Buffalo Chocolatiers, I thank you for your dedication. But remember, sponge candy is for eating, not for cleaning.
And now, the chilling conclusion of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Ichabod, you made it! I was beginning to worry that you had forgotten about me. Or maybe you were punishing me as retribution for my late arrival to rehearsal?
Never that. I had to tend to my schoolhouse, so it delayed my plans to be on time.
Let me take your hat and coat.
Wow, look at everyone. What a celebration. I didn't expect it to be such a grand affair.
I can introduce you to a few people, if you'd like.
No need to disturb them in their merriment.
I'll just point them out so you can more easily strike up a conversation. There is Judge Myers and his wife, Dorothy. Over there by the punch bowl is Martha Greensburg, the Tully twins, and Benjamin Carter. I'm sure you know the rest. Papa is milling about somewhere. You're more likely to hear him first before you see him. Give me a moment. I need to hang up your things and tend to some new guests who just walked in. Do enjoy yourself.
So you must be our new schoolmaster. How long have you been in Sleepy Hollow?
Just under 6 months.
You are still fresh to our countryside air. I can still bid you a good welcome.
And to whom are we bidding welcome?
To Mr. Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod! I've heard so much about you. Give me a hug.
And you are?
Oh, I'll give you a few hints. I'm a fellow lover of history and the classics. And I own the place.
Oh, Mr. Von Tassel!
Oh, you can forget the formalities. Call me Baltus, or Old Baltus, whichever you would prefer. I've earned my age title. There's more salt than pepper in this beer, don't you think?
That may be true, but age is only a figure to denote our mortality. Youth resides in our hearts.
Spoken like a true philosopher and poet. Now tell me, of the great thinkers, if you could only read one for the rest of your life, which one would that be?
That's like asking which of my books I would save from a fire. There are too many. An easy choice would be the Iliad or the Odyssey, but I would have to choose the Republic.
A man of justice and politics.
If I can be honest, I do like a splash of blood, death, and mayhem in my stories, like Oedipus Rex or Antigone.
Well then, you're in good company, Sir Crane.
And how about yourself, if you had to choose one book to read for a lifetime?
It seems I've switched to join the Roman ranks. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. But if I had to choose just one, the Meditations would be my choice.
As a young man, I found joy in reading Cicero of Rome. Natural law above all, and if you don't believe that,
you're a tyrant!
I should have known you would be deeply engrossed in conversation by now. If I didn't interject, you would both be here until sunrise. Did you solve the problems of today's society yet, Papa?
Not yet, but I think I found a new mayor. Ichabod here is a fan of the Republic.
He's surprising as he is studious. You've made an indelible impression on him.
Come here, son. I want to hear your views on the abolition movement.
Papa, it's a party. You two can write never-ending scrolls for your musings another day. Ichabod promised to dance with me.
I didn't make that promise, did I? When did I say that?
Will you join me on the dance floor or not?
My dancing skills are as fresh as a week-old biscuit.
I'll teach you. The only requirement is that you have 2 feet.
Well, there are a few other requirements, such as rhythm and...
No more talking, Ichabod. Let's dance. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The rust is wearing off.
I'm just getting started.
Getting you to dance with me was the only way I could steal you away. And I'm glad I did. You lead quite well. You continue to amaze me at every turn.
Who is that dashing young fellow?
Ichabod Crane.
Really? He's almost unrecognizable in this setting. What a stunning dancer.
Look at how he glides across the floor. I could watch him all day.
This is why you should never judge a book by its cover.
I agree.
Oh, greetings, Brom. Are you enjoying the party?
I was until a few minutes ago.
We were just admiring the schoolmaster's superior dancing skills.
Do you know if he's a bachelor?
Yes, he is. But the chemistry between him and Miss Van Tassel appears that he won't be a bachelor for long.
I'm gonna grab another glass of punch. Excuse me.
I wonder what's irking him.
Did you hear about the butcher from Terrytown?
No, I didn't. What happened?
It's an unfortunate story. The butcher was slicing some ham for Dr. Gould, and amid the slicing, he cut off his own finger.
No, that's not right. The gentleman didn't lose a finger. He lost his entire hand. In the shop, as he was cutting a large slab of beef, it was a bloody scene. The good doctor happened to be there at the time of the accident to pick up some ham. He tried to reattach the severed hand to the butcher's arm, but alas, there wasn't much he could do.
What did he do with the hand?
Bury it in the woods. It's bad luck to put it in the church graveyard. If you put it there, it will rise again in search of its owner.
Really? One would think that the dead would rest in peace.
Yes, one would think, but this happened in the early days of our settlement, according to my grandmother. You should never bury a severed body part on holy grounds. Have you heard of this guidance before, Ichabod?
Oh, my mere ideas are of no importance here.
What he means to say is that he's a skeptic.
The neighborhood is rich in legendary treasures of the kind. Local tales and superstitions seem to thrive best here. It's hard to separate fact from fiction.
Have you heard about the woman in white? She haunts the dark glen at Raven Rock, and she's often heard shrieking on winter nights before a storm. Legend has it, she perished there in the snow.
The same shrieking can belong to the loons that reside at the glen.
Then how do you explain the sightings?
Tricks of the mind. Overactive imaginations.
I wish we could say that about Major Andre Gutenberg.
Major Andre?
Don't mention him.
Why shouldn't we speak his name? We can't pretend as if he never existed.
Another legend?
Not at all. We all knew him. He is said to have vanished by the great oak tree near the church. He was looking for a locket that belonged to his late wife. He told Mrs. Madison that he must have dropped it near the oak tree during a conversation with a few parishioners. The Van Steuben family was leaving the area as Major Andre approached, so they can vouch that he was there. They were the last to see him.
Now, there are claims that they can hear him wailing and mourning on the anniversary of his disappearance.
I knew Major Andre. We both fought in the war. He never would have left Sleepy Hollow without a proper farewell.
The sequestered situation of our church seems always to have made it a favorite haunt of troubled spirits.
Maybe. Major Andre was abducted by our favorite specter of this spellbound region. He patrols the countryside, tethered to his horse nightly among the grave and the churchyards.
Are you speaking of the galloping Hessian of the Hollow?
Yes. The dominant spirit that haunts this region is a man on horseback without a head. It is said by some to be the ghost of a Hessian trooper, whose head had been carried away by a cannonball in some nameless battle during the Revolutionary War.
He is often seen by many of us country folk hurrying along in the gloom of night. His haunts are not confined to the valley, but extend to the adjacent roads and especially near the church.
Ichabod, have you explored much of the woodland surrounding the church?
I can't say that I have.
On one side of the church extends a wide woody dell, along which a large brook flows among broken rocks and fallen tree trunks. Over a deep black part of the stream, not far from the church, is a wooden bridge. The road that leads to it and the bridge itself are thickly shaded by overhanging trees, which cast a gloom about it even in the daytime. This is one of the favorite haunts of the Headless Horseman. Old Brower, a heretical disbeliever in ghosts, met the horseman returning from his foray into Sleepy Hollow. To escape his peril, Brower galloped over bush and brake, over hill and swamp until he reached that very bridge. Then, the horseman suddenly turned into a skeleton, threw old Brower into the brook, and sprang away over the treetops with a clap of thunder. But our beloved schoolmaster must think of us simple-minded folks. From what I hear, there is no encouragement for ghosts in other villages. And like you said, local tales and superstitions seem to thrive best here.
That was not my intent to speak down to anyone. Surely, you know what I meant. I was only saying—
We believe that the body of the trooper must be buried in or near the churchyard, since he's frequently encountered in that vicinity. Nevertheless, he rides to the scene of battle in a nighttime quest for his head. He sometimes passes along the hollow with rushing speed like a midnight blast. This is because he's in a hurry to get back to the churchyard before daybreak. I know this because I've seen him!
We talk often, and you never told me that you saw the Headless Horseman.
Oh, but it's true. It was one night as I was leaving this mansion after speaking to old Baltus. He can attest that I was here to discuss some livestock and land that I wanted to buy from him.
I can attest to that. March, I believe.
While I was riding Daredevil, I felt a cold blast of wind. I thought nothing of it since it was spring and the air can still possess a chill. As soon as I entered the woods, I was overtaken by the dark presence of the midnight trooper on his steed. His aura was intoxicating, drawing me closer. But I was able to break out of the trance. I yelled out to the being, "If you want to take me, you must catch me!" With that, the race was on. Thanks to Daredevil, we beat the Hessian and his goblin horse, crossing the church bridge in the nick of time. The spirit and his devilish horse vanished in a flash of fire. If I were on foot, I would have faced the fate of poor Major Andre, wherever he may rest.
Is it 6 o'clock already? Where did the time go?
The witching hour is upon us, and there's a full moon. All types of mystical marauding will be underway.
Yes, certainly. But you know me. I'm unafraid. Let me grab my things and get home. Oh, excuse me. Do you know where I may find Katrina? She took my hat and coat when I arrived, and I don't know where she placed them.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Pardon me. Have you seen Katrina?
The last time I saw her, she was in the East Wing.
Thank you, and good evening. I think this is the right place. Let me peek inside this room to be sure.
I've been trying to get you alone all night. I have something very important to tell you.
Yes, Brahm, what is it?
This is your chance, old boy. Make your move or forever be a bachelor.
Since I was 7 years old, I have watched you blossom from a girl into a woman. You are the apple of my eye, the milk to my honey, the cherry on top of my pie. I have always sought after your heart.
Don't be deceived by his fake tears.
Oh, Brahm, don't cry.
I can't help it. You are the only one for me. I know you may have other suitors, but I vow to love and protect you for as long as I live.
What are you doing, Ichabod? You should interrupt this scene. Object. Do something. You can walk in right now and tell her you too fancy her. Tell her you want to take her hand in marriage. Muster up the courage.
I can't live any longer with this untapped passion in my heart. Will you marry me, Katrina Van Tassel?
You're too late.
Yes, I will marry you, Brahm. Where's Papa? I must tell him at once.
After you tell him, we can announce it to the guest. Why delay the news?
On second thought, I don't need my hat and coat. Better to leave it here. What a waste of time. Every lady is mesmerized by lads who are dexterous and daring. I should have known Katrina would choose Brahm, the buffoon. I can assure you, he doesn't know the difference between Plato and Socrates. I'll be all right, Gunpowder. Time heals a broken heart. I can always return to Hartford. There's never any shame in returning home. I can earn my degree in jurisprudence and be a lawyer or a justice, like Father wanted. Or I can use my writing prowess to pen stories for the Connecticut Courant. A fresh start will do the trick. Can I not have one moment of peace? Hello! It's Brom and those stupid boys, Gunpowder. Brom, I know it's you. Come out. Enough of the games. And I know it was you who created that mess in my school. Hello? Is someone there? Stop it, I say! To St. Nicholas and all the heavenly hosts, I implore your protection as I trod home. May you usher my feet to safety. May you ward off any unkind beings of this world or another. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. His truth is marching on. What fearful shape and shadow besets my path? Do you see that, Gunpowder? A look in the distance. It can't be, it just can't. I don't believe my eyes. Angels and ministers of grace defend us. It's the Headless Horseman! Gunpowder, we've got to go. Now! Yeah! Ahead for the opening in the trees and towards the brook. We must reach the bridge for us to be safe. Gunpowder, head for the bridge. The bridge! We're almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. We're almost there. Just a few more yards. We can make it. We can. Almost. I can see it. I can see the bridge. Where am I? Katrina? Grom? Old Baltus? There must be a way out of this cave-like place. Can anyone help me?
Thanks for listening and welcome back to WBFO. Before we jump into our top stories for today, we have some breaking news. We have reports of a strange figure on horseback in western New York. The man appears to be at least 6 feet in height and riding a black stallion. There have been sightings on UB North Campus, the First Ward neighborhood, Delaware Park, as well as in Grand Island, Olean, Jamestown, and Niagara Falls. The Erie County Sheriff's Office first assumed it was a prank, but the multiple reports from across the region have given the claims more validity. The suspect is not armed, but you should not engage with him. The mayor and the county executive are urging Erie County residents to stay inside from nightfall until daybreak until further notice. In other news, Buffalo is gearing up for
Help me. Help me. Help me. Help me.
You have been listening to the Buffalo Toronto Public Media production of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, a radio play adaptation by Aaron Mays based on Washington Irving's timeless classic and featuring the University at Buffalo Department of Theatre and Dance. WBFO is signing off for the broadcast day. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to this original production from Buffalo Toronto Public Media. Ichabod Crane was performed by Tobias Fluke. Katrina Van Tassel was performed by Alanine Negron. Brom Bones and George Washington were performed by Adrian Dixon. Ty Burgess performed Soldier 2, Sleepy Hollow Boy 3, and Partygoer 3. Alex Fox performed Soldier 4, Student 1, Sleepy Hollow Boy 2, and Partygoer 4. Balaji Aduwu performed Soldier 3, Sleepy Hollow Boy 1, and Old Baltus Van Tassel. Wisteria Jones performed Sister Charlotte and Partygoer 2. Adriana Schreck performed Partygoer 1, and Joe Yanko performed Soldier 1 and Mrs. Madison. Our announcer was Holly Kirkpatrick. The cast was directed by James Beaudry. The Foley team was directed by Morgan Koziel, with Foley performances by Alyssa Brule, Jenny Bush, Joyce Chang, Matt Hitch, Pat Kelly, and Ron Reynolds. Our pianist was James Welch. Original commercials were written and performed by Buffalo Improv House, featuring Dan Reitz, Annie Moore, Emily Rivera, and Ron Reynolds. Thanks to our production help at the Katharine Cornell Theater from Ali Hasselback, Lynn Koshelniak, Rick Haug, and Ken Smith. The show was recorded and edited by Aaron Hevering. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow was produced by Pat Kelly and executive produced by Lynn Bader, our Vice President of Original Content Creation. Thanks go to our Vice President of Marketing and Creative Services, Heather Hare, the Senior Vice President of Development and Corporate Support, Sylvia Bennett, our Vice President of Content Distribution, Catherine Larson, and our President and CEO, Tom Calderon. This show was made possible by presenting sponsor, the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library, and our supporting sponsor, Mr. Goodbar. Thanks for listening, and happy Halloween.